Jeremy Clarkson.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit of a weird moment for both of us. One, apparently I look like your daughter's boyfriend.
No, you don't look like my daughter's boyfriend. I'm absolutely convinced you are my daughter's boyfriend, who I didn't realise had such a massive tattoo.
Yes, I have to cover it up every time I see you. And then the weird part on my side is that I've probably watched every single thing you've ever done since you had ridiculous hair back in the 80s.
You mean hair?
Yeah.
Just some hair.
Thing, you know, and the war documentaries and the inventions that changed the world, and like I'm 30, but I've been watching you probably more than half my life, which makes you
sad to know. And now it turns out you look and sound exactly the same.
See, this is
You've even got the same. You're from Dublin.
Yeah.
He's from Dublin. This is really, really spooky.
Are we ever going to talk about the Grand Tour?
Yeah.
Probably not. You have an obscene amount of vehicles, I would say. Some are like really expensive. You've gone through a lot of cars. You need the Ford GT, 500. If you could just pick one, which would you pick? And it can be any of them.
Now, that's an interesting one, because I have said for 10 years the best car I ever drove was a Lexus LFA. Not like any Lexus that your bank manager or your accountant drives. This is a completely different animal, and it was incredible, and it made the most astonishing noise, and I always wanted one. But the car I used in Madagascar in the next Grand Tour we're doing, which hasn't even been cut, we just got back, that's now the best car I've ever driven. I can't tell you what it was.
It is a car, though. It is a car?
It's a car, yeah. We're back to cars.
Okay, back to cars.
It's a complete car. It was absolutely, I've never known such a heroic vehicle.
Yeah.
So determined.
Okay.
Strong.
You suggested that they go to Vietnam and Cambodia in this first episode of the new season.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever suggested to do something and they just said, no, Jeremy, can't do that? No, I'm much taller than them.
No, honestly, if the story's good, both James and Richard are wise and clever enough to go, no, if the story's good. The story has to be good. The problem we have these days, if I may be serious for a moment, is so much of the world is now inaccessible.
Yeah.
I mean, not that long ago, we landed in Iraq, drove into eastern Turkey, dropped down into Syria, went from Syria into Jordan and into Israel. None of that is now possible. The whole of North Africa, with the exception of Morocco's out, the Sinai Peninsula's out, Egypt's out, everything, right down to the Sudan. We've done everything in the south. South America, Chile, riots everywhere. One of my favourite countries on earth is Chile. That's difficult to get into. Argentina, literally nothing to see there. And then you've got all the stars. Politics is making the world harder and harder and narrowing the areas where we can actually operate.
Ireland is always there.
Always Ireland. But the Trump, no.
You went there once. Hammond went there once, I think, to test
He did,
the
and
MX-5.
drove an MX-5 at Mondello. He did.
Yeah, and up the Dublin Mountains, which is where I test the cars.
No, well, there's a lot of, I'm going out with an Irish girl, living with an Irish girl, so she's quite keen that we should go back there post-Corbyn. No, wait, sorry, I said that out loud. She's Dubliner. My eldest daughter goes out with an Irish guy who doesn't look like you at all.
Anymore.
So, yeah.
Has it waned away now that I've had a bit of a chat with you, or is it still like...
No, it's still, your voice is exactly the same.
I've watched your videos on F1, the current state of it.
Yeah.
Did you watch the Brazilian GP?
I know, exactly. No, not just that one. I mean, since I put that thing online about, it's ridiculous and they all need to have smack bottoms. The next 6 races were fantastic. And then Brazil. Well, the hell was that? It was just unbelievable.
The restarts, the safety
cars.
The
restarts. And then I genuinely thought that Verstappen and Hamilton had actually changed twice. I didn't realise he'd actually overtaken Albon, who he then crashed into. And then the Ferraris crashed into each other. And that was just... And then, of course, along come the spoil sports, the VAR. Yeah. The stewards. Oh, well, now... What did you think that Lewis deserved a 5-second? I mean, I'm no Lewis fan.
Well, it cost him a lot of places, but he did really dive down there. It's just similar to what Ricardo did.
He was on another track. I actually said before the impact, I said, what's he doing out there? If you're trying to defend, here's a tip.
Close the door.
Get a little bit nearer to the apex than that.
So has it changed your mind? Are you back on board?
No, I was talking... just 2 days ago with Paul Stewart, who ran the Jag team for a long time. It's Jackie Stewart's son about it. And apparently he put it around, that video went all around F1, and everybody sort of agrees. It's just, what do you do about it? They've got to get rid of the stewards, and they've got to have stronger cars.
Yeah.
So a little bit of... I mean, if they do that now, everything flies off.
The
and
Ferraris.
Then race is over. Yeah, the Ferraris, it was that. You've got to have tougher cars. Don't care if they're a bit heavier. And the noise. And those stewards, gaffer tape. No, we're not interested in your opinion. It's dangerous driving, 5 extra points.
Right. Jeremy Clarkson, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Dublin's 98 FM.